Quest Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of The Warning by A.J. Wills, narrated by Charlie Sanderson. Chapter 1. I'm trying to stay positive, but the house is nothing like I imagined. It's grey and gloomy, grovelling under a shadowy canopy of trees like something out of a Victorian Gothic novel. Its thick stone walls are mottled with centuries-old grime. The paint around the windows faded and flaking, and what passes for a garden is under siege from a legion of thistles and nettles. "So?" Justin asks, bubbling with excitement. "What do you think?" He cranks on the handbrake and releases his seatbelt, swivelling around so his knees angle towards me. "It's the old gatehouse lodge." His eyes are black and unblinking. "Isn't it amazing?" I bite my bottom lip as I stare out of the passenger window, trying to summon up some enthusiasm and imagine a life here. It's supposed to be a new beginning, a fresh start for us. But my gaze is drawn to the missing roof tiles, a section of guttering that needs replacing, and the dirt on the windows. It's not the vision of Cornish country living I'd pictured for us when he first announced he wanted us to move here. But I don't want to burst my husband's bubble. The last time I saw him this excited, I was in labour with Sebastian. "It's incredible," I say, forcing a smile. "It has so much character." I'd imagined some quaint stone cottage on the coast, in a chocolate box village with fishing boats bobbing in the harbour and wide, sandy, vanilla-coloured beaches and views over big skies and dark seas. Not this. A haunting and foreboding relic surrounded by nothing more than woodland and open countryside. It's in the back end of nowhere, down a network of narrow lanes at least half an hour's drive from Falmouth and more than 2 miles away from the nearest village. But I don't tell him I think it's too remote. Justin snatches my hand out of my lap and squeezes it tightly. "I knew you'd love it," he says. "Isn't it funny how your memory plays tricks on you, though? I could have sworn there were at least 2 chimney stacks, and I'm sure there used to be a big oak tree over there that we used to climb." He points through the windscreen. "The house looks smaller too. It seemed enormous when I was a kid." "Maybe you're just bigger," I suggest. "I love the summers here." A wistful mist glazes his eyes. "They seem to last forever." I glance up at leaden skies and the thick black clouds chasing over the tops of the trees. The only family holiday we ever had in Cornwall had been marred by lashing rain, which left us shivering in thick jumpers on the beach. Justin used to come here every year with his family and couldn't believe his luck when he found the house was no longer a holiday home, but was being advertised for rent on a long-term tenancy. He thought it was fate drawing him back. He'd called the agents without even talking to me, worried that any delay might mean we would lose out. He told them we'd take it without a viewing, and this is the first time I've seen it in person, and the first time Justin's been back since he was a teenager. He's not told me much about Trelaw, other than that the lodge forms part of a large country estate that's been owned for years by the Carlyon family, who still live in the big manor house further along the sweeping drive. I guess I'll have plenty of time to find out more about them now we're here. "How old were you when you last came?" I ask. He shrugs and pushes out his bottom lip. 16, 17? I can't remember exactly. A long time ago, but the memories are as clear as if they happened yesterday. "We'll build new memories," I tell him. It's what he wants to hear. "We will." He squeezes my hand tighter. "Come on, let's take a look around." He dangles the keys we picked up earlier in front of my face. "I can't wait to see what it's like inside. Leave the stuff in the boot," he says, hauling himself out of the car. "I'll bring it in later." We don't have much. Only a couple of cases of clothing. Pitiful for 12 years of marriage. But the fire robbed us of everything. I follow Justin through a picket gate and along an overgrown path to a heavy wooden front door, trotting to keep up with him in his long, enthusiastic strides. "Welcome to your new home," he beams, slotting the key into the lock. It's one of those big cast-iron keys with an ornate shamrock bow. He struggles to turn it, shifting it back and forth in its housing until it eventually catches, and the door falls open. I resist the urge to wrinkle my nose as we're assaulted by a waft of musty, damp air. The house has clearly been left shut up and empty for a long time. The first thing I'm going to do is throw open all the windows and give it a good airing. An old coir mat lies askew in the gloomy hallway, disintegrating with age and shedding brown, wiry fibres across a cracked terracotta-tiled floor, patterned with a floral mosaic. The tiles need a good sweep, but they're a beautiful original feature. I'm about to step inside when Justin bends down and scoops me up like I'm a virginal bride. I squeal and giggle nervously as his arms shake with the effort of holding me up. It's been a long time since I've laughed at anything. "What are you doing?" I scream. "Carrying you over the threshold." He staggers through the door, my head narrowly missing the frame. He dumps me unceremoniously back on my feet, huffing and puffing. "Silly bugger!" I punch him playfully on the arm. He grabs his lower back and winces. "I thought you were lighter than that." I cast my eyes at the floor, stung by what I'm sure he thinks is a harmless joke. I'm painfully aware that I've put on a few extra pounds in the last year, but who could blame me? For a while I had no appetite at all, but then food became a comfort, and I've not exercised for almost a year. There has seemed little point. Maybe he's right. This move can be the beginning of something new. For both of us. "Oh, Megan, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean..." "It's okay," I mumble. "It's fine. I know it all feels weird at the moment, but this house is going to help us heal and find ourselves again. It's going to take time, I know that. But just look outside. There's nothing and no one for miles around apart from trees and fields. I can't think of anywhere better we could be." I reach up on the tips of my toes and plant a kiss on his lips. "I know," I say, raking my fingers down his chest. I hadn't quite appreciated how much this house means to Justin, the memories it holds and the place it occupies in his heart. But I can see it written across his face. I was worried when he first proposed coming here, especially as it meant moving away from the city to somewhere so quiet. But he's done it with the best intentions. For me, and for the sake of our marriage, which has been creaking under such intolerable strain. If that means embracing a new life here in Cornwall, in a strange house, removed from the familiarity of our old lives, then that's what I'm going to do. I owe Justin that. He reaches for a light switch and flicks it on, but nothing happens. He tuts and rolls his eyes. Not a great start. "Listen, why don't you look around while I check the fuse box? I expect they've switched off the electrics while the house was empty," he says. He stalks off, heading for the cupboard under the stairs with the torch on his phone creating long shadows. I leave him to it and poke my head into the kitchen, the first room off the hall. It's plenty big enough, and there are loads of cupboards and a wide expanse of worktops, but it's in desperate need of modernisation. Not a patch on the kitchen in our old house, with its sleek lines, crisp white surfaces, integrated appliances, and eye-wateringly expensive boiling water filter tap Justin insisted we had installed when the kitchen was refitted. I loved that kitchen, but it was only wood, plastic and metal. If the last 10 months have taught me anything, it's how pointless it is to be emotionally attached to stuff that has no real sentimental value. The lounge is another room that feels stuck in the 1980s, but with a large fireplace and a wood-burning stove, it's actually pretty cosy. I can imagine us curling up on the sofa with a glass of wine and the fire blazing on a cold autumnal evening. It's a far cry from the life we used to have, but we'll get used to it. It's an opportunity to reboot. We can't remain stuck in the past forever. no matter how painful it is to move on. A series of thuds and bangs come from the cupboard under the stairs, and Justin swears loudly. "Everything okay?" I call out. Yeah, it's fine," he shouts back. I've learned it's best if I don't interfere with these things. I doubt there's anything I can do to help anyway. Electrics aren't my area of expertise. I trudge up the stairs, keen to check out the state of the bedrooms. It's supposed to be a 3-bedroom property. Too big for the two of us, really, but at least we'll have the choice of rooms. I only hope the beds are half decent. I draw the line at a lumpy mattress, although beggars can't be choosers. We lost everything in the fire, so we needed a fully furnished rental until the loss adjusters approve our insurance claim. In the meantime, it means we have to put up with someone else's furnishings. The treads creak and moan under my feet as I ascend, my heart pattering in my chest. Not from the exertion of climbing, but from the niggle of anxiety that tightens in my gut. I'm not sure why. I hesitate, listening. Another loud thud comes from the cupboard below, and Justin whelps in pain. I filter it out, cocking my head to one side. Why do I have this unnerving feeling we're not alone? I'm being stupid. There's no one else here. It's obvious from the dust and the smell of damp the house has been empty for months. It's just my mind's silly reaction to moving into a strange old house. I don't believe in all that nonsense about ghosts and ghouls and bumps in the night. I climb the rest of the stairs slowly. Come on, Megan. Get a grip. The banister on the landing wobbles unnervingly when I grab it, and for a second I fear it's going to come away in my hand. I need to get Justin to look at that later. It's downright dangerous. There are 5 doors off the landing. The first one I peel open reveals a small airing cupboard housing an ancient-looking hot water tank shrouded in solidified foam. The door alongside it is open, and inside is a bathroom with ugly green tiles and a mould-speckled shower curtain hanging limply over a wood-panelled bath. I assume that means the door at the far end of the landing leads to a bedroom at the front of the house, one that by rights should have the best views across the valley. It's the one I want. The handle is stiff and creaks noisily. The door opens a crack and I'm struck by a new smell. Not the damp and mildew I detected earlier, but something more human. Sweat. The sour stench of body odour, the kind that lingers and makes you gag. And stale cigarette smoke. I cover my nose and mouth with my hand and hold my breath as the door swings inwards, achingly slowly. I swallow hard, but my throat is dry. Adrenaline races through my veins. My heart pumps faster. The tips of my fingers as cold as icicles. I stare into the room and gasp. "Justin!" I scream, paralysed, my feet rooted to the spot. "You'd better get up here. You need to see this." Chapter 2. Justin comes bounding up the stairs like a herd of wild horses, eyes wide and face sombre with concern. "Megan?" I lower the hand covering my nose and mouth and point silently into the room. "What the hell is it?" he asks, his brow furrowed. I press my back to the wall so he can see for himself. His Adam's apple bobs up and down. He gasps, then runs a hand through his hair, staring open-mouthed at the grubby blue sleeping bag laid out on top of the bare mattress on the double bed and the mess littering the floor. The bottles of water, the fizzy drinks cans, an empty carton of milk that's fallen on its side, a pouch of tobacco, an old mug filled with ash and cigarette butts. There's even a pair of jeans screwed up in a heap in the corner. "Someone's been living here." I wrap my arms around my body and glance towards the stairs, as if whoever's been here might reappear at any moment. Justin steps cautiously into the room and squats to inspect the litter. He pokes at an empty can with his finger like a cat pawing at a mouse to see if it's still alive. "It stinks in here," he says, putting the back of his hand up to his nose. Then he stands, his eyes roving as if he's searching for something. "I'll call the agency and get them to sort this out. It's unacceptable." "Someone's been living here, Justin," I repeat. This isn't like finding a fuse is blown or that a curtain rail's fallen down, problems you can easily fix. Didn't the agency check the house before they gave us the keys? I know, he says. He puts his hands on my arms and looks at me earnestly. And I said we'll get someone to sort it out. How did they even get in here? He shakes his head. I don't know, but they won't be coming back, I promise. You don't know that. I shrug his hands off and storm back down the stairs. This was a mistake. This isn't the right house for us. When Justin's gone back to work, I'm going to be left here all alone and vulnerable. And there's no one around for miles I can call on for help. What the hell have we done? 40 minutes later, we hear a car approaching, followed by a loud knock at the door that echoes through the house. Harriet Quinlivan, A1 Property Services. The woman standing in the porch announces, thrusting out her hand. I'm so sorry. I came as quickly as I could. A bit of a problem, I hear. Her bright red nails are immaculate. They must be acrylic. Nobody can grow nails that perfectly manicured. Justin tentatively shakes her hand, then she offers it to me. Her skin is soft, her grip firm and businesslike. She smiles at me so warmly, it's annoyingly disarming. I want to hate this woman for ruining our new start, but there's something instantly appealing about her. It's not just the smile, it's her calm confidence, and the fact she's come in person, apologising profusely. It's hard to stay mad with her. You said on the phone that you think someone's been in the house. You found something in the bedroom. She raises a neatly trimmed eyebrow. Squatters, Justin growls. Don't you people check your properties before you lease them out? I don't like the tone he takes with her, all officious and patronising. There's no need to talk to people like that. She's come to help. To her credit, Harriet's smile doesn't slip an inch. It's unforgivable, she says. I really can't apologise enough. May I take a look? Justin grunts and steps aside to let her in. She's a little older than me. You can see it in the creases around her eyes and the lost elasticity in the skin around her neck. But she conceals it well with her perfect makeup and highlighted honey-coloured hair that hangs fashionably just above her shoulders. In her smart business suit and high heels, she makes me feel positively dowdy. We've checked all the doors and windows, I explain, but there are no obvious signs of how they got in. Right, Harriet says, nodding. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of it. Make this right for you. Not the start you imagined, is it? Justin shows her upstairs while I wait in the kitchen. I have no desire to see that bedroom again until it's been tidied up and thoroughly cleaned. They're not up there for long. When they come back down, Harriet's amiable smile has faded. She fishes in her bag and pulls out a mobile. Leave it with me, and I'll get this straightened out. I just need to make a call, she says, wandering into the lounge out of earshot. Are you okay? Justin asks. I nod, but I'm far from okay. The thought of spending the night in the house fills me with dread. How am I going to sleep? Even with Justin here, I don't feel safe knowing someone's been living here and that they could return at any time. Justin pulls me into a hug and I bury my head into his shoulder, savouring the firmness of his body, his chest pressing against mine. I know he was only trying to do the right thing by moving us out here, but I wish he'd talked to me first. I know why he was so keen to return. It's a place where he remembers being happy, and he thinks it's somewhere we can be happy together again after everything we've been through, but I'm not so sure this is going to work. I don't think I can stay here tonight, I mumble. What do you mean? Why not? Why do you think? Because of some idiot squatter, he says. I don't think I can feel comfortable until I know for sure they've gone and won't be coming back. You heard Harriet, she's sorting it. Besides, we don't have anywhere else to go. We could book into a B&B for the night. Please, just in one night, that's all I'm asking. I really have tried to be positive about the move, but I never expected to find squatters camped in the house, in our bedroom. It's too much. Would it really be such a big deal? And that way Harriet would have the time to have the place properly cleaned. Then we could start with a fresh slate tomorrow. Justin sighs. I wanted today to be perfect, a new beginning for us. I know, I soothe, and it will be. We can come back tomorrow and pretend today never happened. This isn't how I imagined it would be. I want you to be happy again, Megs. I thought this move, this house, would make everything right, he says. The way his whole body seems to deflate, like a balloon pricked by a thorn, tears at my heart. It will do, I assure him. In time, but right now I'd be happier if we didn't have to spend the night here. You understand, don't you? I clamp my palm tenderly on his cheek. I'm sorry, he says. There's nothing to apologise for. You're a good man, Justin Pike, and I love you. Frankly, I'm amazed he's stayed with me. I doubt many men in his shoes would have done. Harriet's high heels tip-tap across the tiled hallway. As she strides into the kitchen, Justin lets me go, looking a little sheepish. Right, Colin's on his way over, she says, all white teeth and smiles. He'll be here shortly. Colin, I ask. He looks after all the maintenance round the estate, Harriet explains. He'll clear the room out and give it a good clean. You won't even know anyone's been here. I've also asked him to check all the doors and windows. We don't want any more surprise visitors, do we? She grins. I'm glad she can see the funny side. She's not the one who has to live here. Was there anything else while I'm here? Harriet asks. All the instructions for the kitchen appliances should be in the drawer by the microwave. The code for the Wi-Fi is on the back of the router under the stairs, and details about bin collections are in a folder in the lounge. Actually, there was no electricity when we arrived, Justin moans. It was switched off at the meter. The downside of living in the country, I'm afraid. The fuse box is quite sensitive and tends to trip at the slightest thing. As you've probably guessed, the house has been empty for a while. You've fixed it now? Eventually. Fantastic. Well done you, she says, rather patronisingly. Justin bristles. An awkward silence simmers between us. I clear my throat. My cheeks flushing with embarrassment, my mind blank. I don't usually struggle for conversation, but I can't think of a single thing to say. Just the two of you, is it? Harriet finally says, breaking the tension. It's a big house for two. No children. I wish the floor would rip open and swallow me whole. Is this what it's always going to be like? People asking if we have kids and neither of us knowing quite how to answer politely. No, Justin says, his jaw tight. It's just me and Megan. We're saved from further awkward questions by another loud bang at the door. That'll be Colin, Harriet says, marching out of the kitchen and into the hall. She answers the door like she owns the place, which I suppose in a roundabout way she does. The man she invites in is dressed in a set of dirty blue overalls, his face lined with age. What's left of his grey hair stands up in wisps on the top of his head, revealing a thumb-sized scab just above his forehead. Colin, thanks for coming over so quickly. This is Justin Pike and his wife Megan. They've just moved in. I know who Justin is, he grunts, staring at my husband with a surprising sourness. In one hand he's carrying a toolbox. The other is clenched into a fist at his side. He's dour-faced and appears to be totally humourless. Hello, Colin, Justin says cheerily. Good to see you again. You haven't changed a bit. Colin's lip curls. Didn't expect to see you back, he huffs. I grabbed Justin's hand tightly and tucked myself behind his shoulder. The atmosphere between the two men is decidedly icy, but I have no idea why. They must know each other from when Justin stayed at the house with his parents, but that was over 25 years ago. How are things? Justin continues lightly, as if he's catching up with an old friend. Can he not sense the tension? Still keeping busy? How are the Carlyons doing these days? Colin looks at Harriet. Upstairs, is it? The master bedroom at the front, she tells him. Righto. He stamps his muddy boots on the mat, and we watch mutely as he clambers up the stairs on stiff joints. It shouldn't take him too long, I'm sure, Harriet clasps her hands together. But listen, as a gesture of goodwill, we'd like to put you up in a hotel tonight, just until we can get things straightened out here. I could hug her. Really, there's no need, Justin says. We'll be fine. I elbow him in the ribs. No, I insist. It's not good enough. You're right. We should have checked the property before you arrived. Why don't we meet here again tomorrow morning, and we can start afresh? That would be wonderful, thank you, I say, before Justin can protest again. There's no way I'm turning down a free night in a hotel, let alone staying in the lodge tonight. Justin sighs. I know he's disappointed, but it's not his fault. Tomorrow's a new day and, as Harriet says, we can all start anew as if today never happened. Wonderful, she beams. I'll get the office to make the reservation, and why don't we say I'll see you back here tomorrow at 10? Chapter 3. The hotel overlooks the beach and has its own gym, spa and pool. Our room is in a cosy attic space with incredible views across the bay. It can't have been cheap, even for one night. Not that I'm complaining. It's been so long since we've stayed in a hotel, especially one this fancy. Tomorrow we'll be back at the house in our new reality, so I'm determined to enjoy it. This is something else, I say, running a hand over the luxurious Egyptian cotton bedsheets as Justin dumps our cases in the corner. Yeah, he admits grudgingly. It is nice. I'm sorry we're not staying in the house tonight. I know how much it means to you, but you understand why I was so freaked out, don't you? Of course, but I'm the one who should say sorry. You've been through so much. Finding squatters in the bedroom is the last thing you needed, he says. Remorse glistens in his eyes. I just want you to be happy, Megs. But I'm not sure I even know what the word means anymore. The heavy weight of sorrow has clung to my heart for so long, it's become a friend. I savour it, relish it, because how can I reject it? It's the daily reminder of the loss of my dear, sweet boys. Justin keeps saying we need to start living our lives again, but how can I ever move on and forget? Or forgive myself? I slump on the bed with my head in my hands. Tears spring from nowhere, hot and thick, the surge of emotion racking my body. I've done little else but cry in the last 10 months. Justin's become so used to my sudden outpourings that they no longer come as a surprise to him. He kneels on the floor in front of me and kisses the top of my head. Come on, Megan, it's okay. He strokes my arms and rocks me soothingly. I attempt to picture my son's faces in my mind, but the harder I try, the more indistinct they become. Their features morphing and dissolving into a jumble of memories just out of reach, like a feather on the wind. Every time I reach to grab them, they spin and tumble from my grasp. What the hell is wrong with me? What kind of mother am I? I should be able to recall my son's faces with perfect clarity. Instead, I have to focus.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.